Round 10 in the Premier League was a blast. It was pretty exciting. In fact, the only surprising thing was that for the first time in a very long time, and this is a big surprise coming from the Premier League, we did not see lots of controversial decisions. And because of that, we will not be doing any argument episode. But we've still got lots to talk about after the latest round of action. And starting with you, Victor, we're talking about Manchester City. They beat Bournemouth via a 3-1 scoreline. Haaland once again doing like Haaland stuff. Now, the question is, do you think City are back in their full flow given their recent result?
Yeah, it's starting to look like it. I'm liking what I'm seeing in terms of their consistency, and they have been better, especially better than last season, that's for sure, but that's a low bar anyway. Um, at the moment, I'm kind of reluctant to say City are back because of the run of fixtures they've got after this. So we're looking at Dortmund, Liverpool, Newcastle, Bayer Leverkusen. It's really tough. It's really tough, even for a team as good as City, especially if maybe Haaland starts misfiring a little bit. I think they're going to have proper trouble. So as far as them being back, I'm not sold on that yet.
Yeah, fair enough. Moving on to you, Max. How big of it was a shock to see West Ham beat Newcastle 3-1?
As you remember, last week I was the one that backing West Ham not to lose at least, but even probably win it. But overall, obviously, this is a shocker because West Ham didn't win at home in Prem for over 8 months. That says a lot about this matchup, but overall, it's nice to see West Ham given at least some moments of life for this campaign.
Yeah, pretty interesting. And now moving on to Liverpool stuff. Liverpool finally returned to winning ways in the Premier League, much to the joy of Victor and other Liverpool fans out there in the world. 2 new results over Aston Villa. For now, the question is, given Liverpool's upcoming fixture list, get Real Madrid and also Manchester City, do you think they can build on that result?
Oh man, I sure hope so. As a diehard Liverpool fan, I sure hope so. It's absolutely mental, the fact that now they're playing Real and City back to back, a somewhat resurging Forest after that. I don't think that they will be able to win all of the next 3 games, let's say. Will I be happy with a draw against City? Yes. What they do really need to win is the Real Madrid game. Absolutely. If that doesn't happen, I think it's going to trickle down and it's going to influence their performances in the Premier League as well. And if that happens, they're probably out of the title race.
Out of the title race by November. Anyways, we'll wait and see how all that unfolds.
After spending over £400 million in the summer.
Yeah, fair enough. And moving over to London, Chelsea came out on top in the London derby, beating Spurs by a 1-0 scoreline. So, Max, the question is, were Chelsea tactically good or were Spurs just so bad in that game?
Actually, I'll probably say both. Because Chelsea looked decent in this game. There are a lot of moments. They scored only 1, but they could have scored at least 3. While Spurs looked absolutely doomed. They did pretty much nothing in attack. And the XG stats says a lot. They're below 0.1. And for this type of games you're playing at home, you definitely might do much better.
Yeah, fair enough. And back to you, Victor. Arsenal beat Burnley 2-0 at Turf Moor to open up a 6-point gap at the top of the Premier League table. They recorded another clean sheet, but the question is, how long do you think Arsenal can keep up their momentum?
Yeah, it's obviously a very Arsenal win, a very trademark win in that sense. They have a somewhat alright run of fixtures coming up. It's Slavia Prague in the Champions League, then it's Sunderland and Spurs. Then it's Bayern in the Champions League. That's going to be tough. But even after that, it's Chelsea, Brentford, Villa. All of that seems winnable to me. And then I think, if I recall correctly, it's Bruges in the Champions League again. So I think in terms of keeping up the momentum, it's all rosy at the Emirates at the moment. They must feel absolutely invincible. They've let one or two shots on target in the last 4 or 5 games. Absolutely impenetrable. And I think if they can get through, especially the two games, the Spurs game and the Bayern game, with at least a win and a draw, they will feel like the world is there at their feet.
Fair enough. And speaking about the world being at their feet, let's move over to Manchester United. They thought the world was at their feet when they won 3 games in a row, but finally they saw their winning run come to an end. 2-2 draw at the hands of Nottingham Forest. But Max, do you think United can realistically push for a top 4 finish?
I mean, as a fan, I hope so, but realistically, top 4, pretty much no chance for this moment, but somewhere around top 6, behind Liverpool, City, Arsenal, Chelsea, and Spurs. Yeah, we might end up being around 5th or 6th place, but mostly just because we don't play in Europe and we also lost one of the cups already, so we have more time to prep for Prem, so we might end up being in Europa League at least.
So what you're saying is the top 6 will be the big 6 this season.
Actually, yeah.
I don't see that. I don't see it happening, but yeah, we'll see. I think there will be 1 or 2 guys to disrupt the usual flow.
Yeah.
Anyways, those are our thoughts for the Premier League round 10. It was definitely exciting. Arsenal remain at the top, but the pretty interesting part is that from second place up until 8th or 9th, there's just 4 points separating those sides, meaning anything can literally happen. And of course, we'll be here to give out the best bits and development ahead of the next round.